Good afternoon. Already we have finished now the history one lesson. So modern world we have already finished. So we will get into the new chapter. So that will be, civics. So this year when we talk about the lesson concept of civics, you will come across, three lessons. One is union legislature, then union executive, then judiciary. So these are the three lessons. So which you are going to, study this year, and very important because uh, we are citizen of India and we are born in a country called India, and we need to know what is our government, what is how the laws are made, and what is judiciary. So everything we should know it. So first lesson we will go with the union legislature. So before I go with the lesson union legislature, I would like to give you an introduction. So here two concepts are there in the introduction part. The first concept will be Indian government, and the second concept will be, parliament. Okay, so when you understand Indian government and the parliament, it is easy to go with the concept called union legislature. Okay, so let us go with the introduction. First, the concept, so that is called Indian government. As you all know, after we got independence, 1947. So 1950 onwards, we are having the functioning of government in India. Before that also we had it, but before we get independence, we had a government of British. But our Indian government, our the dreams of the many Indian freedom fighters, so started, that is Indian government for, or a government for Indians, which should be run by Indian leaders or Indian representatives. That was the dream of our Indian freedom fighters. So that started to exist in India. So from 1950 onwards, okay, the Indian government. So when we say government or Indian government, so what does it? What is a meaning of it? Indian government. Okay, if you see, the first point says India has parliamentary form of government. Okay, India has parliamentary form of government, or also we call it as an federal setup of government. Okay, in India we are having parliamentary form of government. What is this parliamentary form of government means? It's nothing but presence of two government. Okay, presence of two government is nothing but parliamentary form of government. Federal setup. Federal means here two. Okay, two. In India, we are having presence of two government. That is the reason our government is called as parliamentary form of government. So, Indian government is called as parliamentary form of government because we are having presence of two government or federal setup of government. Which are the two government? That is central government and state governments. Okay, central and state. Central government and state government. These are the two governments. Since we are having the presence of these two government, so our government is called, Indian government is called as parliamentary form of government. You should know it. If somebody asks what type of government exists in India and or what is an Indian government, if you say, you should be able to say Indian government is a parliamentary form of government. So then they may ask, what is parliamentary form of government? Parliamentary form of government is nothing but presence of two government or federal set of government in India, which are the central and state. Okay, this is the first one about our government. Second thing is Indian government functions under. Okay, government functions today. The Indian government functions under the three major, the personalities or three major groups, okay, or three major, the people, they taken a very important role in functioning of our Indian government. So in that, first and foremost, we are having the president. Okay, the president. That about president we will study in the next lesson. That is union executive. So president, who is called as head of state. Okay, he is head of a state, because all any emergencies, and uh, making enacting of the law, everything is made by him. Then chief executive. So he is given some special powers. So where we call him as a chief executive. Then he is a nominal head. Okay. So all the functioning of our country in India is carried out on the name of president. President is a person who signs for all the documents or all the laws in India. So that is the reason he is called as a nominal head. So more about president we will discuss in next lesson. But you should know our Indian government is function under the president. Next we are having very important personality. So that is prime minister. Okay. So who is prime minister? The prime minister is nothing but a person. Our country's governance, our country's function is under the control of prime minister. The entire country's function will be under the control of prime minister. Then most powerful political leader is, okay, powerful political leader of one political party. For example, Narendra Modi, you take, is the most powerful political leader of BJP. Okay, Bharatiya Janata Party. Okay, that is the reason he is, prime minister, head of the government. For 5 years, he will be the head of the government. So, according to his advice, only the functions of presidents will take place. Okay, that is the second personality. Third one is, the Council of Ministers. Okay, so all MPs. Okay, so a Council of Ministers, who are all are going to function as per the advice of Prime Minister. Here we are having three categories. The Council of Ministers are classified into three groups, like cabinet ministers, ministers of state, and deputy ministers. That we will study in upcoming topics, so we will have it. Okay, Council of Ministers classified into three groups. The first group is cabinet ministers. Second group is ministers of state. Third group is deputy ministers. So these people join together and they make one body, that is Council of Ministers. Okay, so our Indian government will function under these three groups, three leaders: President, Prime Minister, and the Council of Ministers. So that we should know it. And the third one is, the very important one is the organs of our government. So Indian government is having three organs, three major organs. Okay, that organs are legislature, executive, and judiciary. They are the three organs of our country. Today our country stands on these three organs. Okay, legislature. It's nothing but law-making body in India. Okay, whatever the law made in India, that law will be made by an organ called legislature in India. Okay, that's the thing with union legislature we are going to see in this lesson. Completely you will come to know about the union legislature. And the next thing is executive. Enforce the law. Enforce the law. Whatever the law made by this organ, it is sent to the executive organ. These people are going to make the law effective with the opinions. Okay, where the president will be there, Council of Ministers will be there. They are the people who cross-check whatever the law is made by the legislature. So they are going to make the law effective. After making the law, whether that law is bound to the Indian Constitution or against the Constitution, that is going to be checked by a judiciary. That is the reason it's called interprets the law. Whatever the law is made by the legislature, it is sent to the executive. Executive will cross-check the law, it will enforce the law. After that, it is sent to the judiciary. So judiciary interprets the law. Okay. Any law made by the legislature or the parliament in India, whether it is bound to the constitution, whether it is according to the constitution provision or not, that interpretation is done by a judiciary. Because in India, any law is made, the final interpreter is judiciary. So they are the people who finally interpret. So like that, these three organs, almost like backbones to our country. Today our country stands on these three organs, and these three organs are separate. So that is the reason I said in this year, first we will study in this year, first lesson we are going to study about union legislature, next executive, then judiciary we are going to discuss. Okay, so these are about the Indian government. We are having the first introduction, I mean topic, which we are having it. So next, second one we are having, so that is parliament, the concept called parliament. So union legislature, when we say, there should be a presence of, or you should know something about parliament. So as you all know, last year we talked about the first lesson, so that was our constitution I had discussed for you in the civics. While talking about that particular topic, so the Constituent Assembly, one of the body, so I just started telling about that. Okay, Constituent Assembly. So it was the body which made the constitution. Then I said to you, after the constitution was given to us, that is in 1950, that Constituent Assembly was renamed it as, okay, body, that was nothing but parliament. Okay, so parliament is a body which consists of the two houses. Okay, so the earlier till 1950, instead of calling it as a parliament, we used to call it as a constituent assembly. It's a body where the elected representatives, okay, the elected representative functions for the betterment of the country. Okay, that is the parliament. I hope you might have all seen parliament. Parliament today, it's there in Delhi. Okay, the parliament. If you have not seen, please just check it with the net, and you will get to know how the parliament looks. Or in your textbook, the picture is given, the parliament, so you can just go through it. So when Ambedkar framed a constitution, the constitution itself says the presence of parliament should be there in India, especially for the union and the central government, or union or central government. At the center, the representatives should function in this particular parliament. Okay, their functioning should take place under this. Okay, so today the parliament consists of, what other character comes when we say the parliament? So when we say the parliament, the character comes is, one is the president, who is related to it. Then very important is two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, which we are going to study in detail in next classes. Okay, so Lok Sabha, which is also known as House of People, because all those people whom you elect, you send to this house, they have been elected by the people. Okay, every 5 years once election. Okay, 18 years completed, alternate franchise method we use, and we serve. As a reason, it's called as the House of a People. The real power is given to Lok Sabha House. Okay, the power is given by a people to the representatives, that is House of People. Then it is also called as lower chamber. Okay, lower chamber, because every 5 years once it get dissolved. The second house is Rajya Sabha, which is consist of the Council of States. Okay, here we don't, people will not elect the Council of States. Okay, they use the electoral college method and they elect the Council of the States, the members. It is called as upper house because it's a permanent house. The house never gets empty. Okay, these are the two. So these are the three constituents of the parliament. Okay, the president, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Today these three characters together make a body that is nothing but parliament. Okay, some more about the parliament we are having it. So that I will take it up in the next class. Some important the concepts about the parliament also. I mean, we are having it, so that I will take it up in the next class. So till here, till the parliament, and till the parliament consists of three characters or three bodies. Till here you know it. So next class we will go and we will know some more about the, I mean, the parliament, how it functions, and what are the something is speciality of the parliament. All these things we will go in the next class. Thank you.